Okay, so today we're going to go through the day 5 review sheet. When you return on Tuesday, we're going to go through the additional review sheet. Now, the weather for next week is looking iffy. If you have a snow day on Tuesday, your midterm is still on Wednesday. Okay, because I would never want you to be surprised by that. So as long as you have class on Tuesday, we will be doing that additional review sheet. But in the instance that you are home, do those extra practice problems, because next Wednesday begins your midterm. So next Wednesday, you'll take your first part of your midterm, followed by Thursday and Friday, and then your midterm is all set. Yes, Casey, go ahead. It's kind of scattered. Yes, good question though. Yep, so you have approximately 7 or 8 questions to do each day. So you finish a part and then you move on to the next part the next day. And I will grade them as you go so you can kind of see how you're doing on each part. Formula sheets, of course, can be used. Calculator, of course, can be used as well. Okay, so before we begin and go into the day 5, are there any other questions so far? Yep, go ahead. It does not, as long as it's according to your setup, as long as you're plugging the A in where your A was. Yes, Sarah, go ahead. No, if you have a snow day on one of the days of the midterm, we will figure it out. Yep, good question. We can't. It's part of your requirement for the end of the year. So you will be taking it. Yes, they even took it last year. So you will be taking it. But again, if something has to change, just check Google Classroom. I'll post something for you. But again, to reiterate, if you for some reason are not here on Tuesday and you come back Wednesday, Wednesday is still your midterm. Okay, because you've already had like 5 days of review. That one's just an extra one, kind of as a buffer. But again, you have those solutions. You're welcome to do those at home as well. Let me know when more questions come up, okay? I'm happy to answer those. So we need to do some trick review today. So again, you're gonna want your formula sheet out. And what's gonna be imperative with these first couple questions is what mode must your calculator be in? Degrees. So take a moment and make sure your calculator is in degree mode. I'm going to do the same. So degree mode. I will remind you of these things before you take your exam, but there will be instances where you kind of have to change back and forth within one particular day. So beginning with number 1 here, you want to find sine theta, given that theta is an angle in standard position, given coordinates 12, -5. So I'm going to sketch here. So I'm going to go over 12 and down 5, which puts me in what quadrant? Not quite 3. Better. It's okay. So we went over 12. We went down 5. Theta, your point of reference is here. We need to find sine of theta. So what is the ratio for sine of theta? Opposite over hypotenuse. Good. So opposite over hypotenuse. What are you missing? Hypotenuse. If you know it, go ahead and write it in. If you don't know it, put that green arrow. So if you must, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And you would be doing 12 squared plus, yep, 5 squared equals c squared. So this is going to give me 169 equal to c squared. And you're going to square root that to get, yes. Again, this is what we call a Pythagorean triple. It is a commonly occurring right triangle. So if you know the missing measurement, you can just write it down. So now I'm going to sum it. So the value of sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So therefore we have -5 over 13. Remember that a hypotenuse can never be negative because it comes from the result of the Pythagorean theorem. And when you square a negative, it always becomes positive. So that's it on that one. Nice, quick, and easy. So moving down to number 2. Approximate the value of secant to the nearest 10,000. So secant is the reciprocal of which trig function? Yep, cosine, good. So this is a reciprocal trig function. So this is just calculator. You're going to go 1 divided by the cosine of 113.76. That's all the work I need to see, and that you correctly rounded answer. Nearest 1,000. Did everyone obtain negative 2.482? And again, I'm going to write on here that your calculator must be in degrees. Oh, in degrees. All right, next. You have a point 32 meters from the base of a building. So if you're feeling artistic, you can draw a building. I'm just going to do this. Your building is your altitude, which is your height. And you're going to sketch a nice right triangle to represent the scenario. So here's my right angle. The base is 32 meters from the building, so 32 is going to be located at the bottom here. Angle of elevation is 61. Round the height of the building to the nearest 10. So that is what we are looking to solve for. Okay, so you're going to start and label these. So you start at your point of reference, which is 61 degrees. And what does the X represent? What side? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? Opposite, good. And the 32 represents your adjacent, very good. So again, if you need this, let's see where you need this somewhere on your paper. Here's your SOHCAHTOA. And you're going to substitute in. So which trig function works here? Tan, yep. So tangent of 61 degrees is equal to x over 32. You're going to cross multiply and place the side length in front of the tangent of the angle, because again, those are different. And then you're going to type that. Again, with your calculator in degree mode. Round your answer to the nearest 10. Everyone should be getting 57.7. How is that? Good? Okay. Okay. Moving into number 4 then. The measures of 3 sides of a triangle are, find the measure of the largest angle to the nearest degree. There is no reference indicating that this is a right triangle. Okay? So you can assume it's not. So I'm going to sketch a triangle, bless you, and think about how to proceed on this. Because we're very, very good with these during the school year. So I'm going to label this A, B, C. And I'm going to label 14, 19, 22, doesn't matter. And we are looking for the measure of the largest angle. So the largest angle is located across from the largest side. So in this case, we want to solve for which angle? Say it again, B. So you're looking for this one. On your triangle, you currently have side, side, side. Take a peek at your formula sheet. And is there a formula we use if we have side, side, side? Law of cosine. Good. So that is right on your formula sheet. Again, you don't have to memorize it. And when you did law of cosine, you are going to start with whatever letter you're looking to solve for. I'm going to manipulate the formula to say b squared is equal to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cos b. And then you're going to substitute in. So b squared is 22 squared equal to 19 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 19, 14, close to B. Again, you want to be very careful how you round because you're not going to be done with this problem quickly. So what we need to do here is take that 22 squared, and then we're going to take this answer, and this is going to get subtracted over. So I'm actually going to do that in the calculator at the same time. So 22 squared minus the 19 squared plus the 14 squared. Okay. So this gives me negative 73 is equal to, I'm only going to type this part in next. 2 times 19 times 14 is, did everyone get negative 532 here? And that is multiplied by the cosine of B. Almost there. You're going to divide by negative 532 and then take an inverse cos function to solve for the angle. Again, keep just using your calculator and pulling those entries back so you don't have to keep typing. And then again, you're going to do second cosine function on your calculator. And angle comes out to the nearest degree. Did everyone obtain 82 degrees? Good. So again, you're going to do in the calculator second cos. I'll write that decimal in case you'd like it. 0.1372 180,451. And that was 82 degrees. All right, so next, you need to find the area of the triangle to the nearest thousand. So using those measurements from above. So area of your triangle, I'm just going to re-sketch this. And we're going to use 14, the angle we found, which was 82, and then 19. Your area of a triangle, you need side angle side, which you have. So you're going to look right at your formula sheet and you're going to pull the formula for area of the triangle. I believe that's listed on there. Yes, it's like the middle of your paper. So K is equal to 1/2 AB sine C. And we're going to have area is equal to, I'm going to type it 0.5 because it makes it easier. 14 times 19 times the sine of 82 degrees. And then this answer gets rounded to the nearest thousand. All right, did everyone get 131.71? That was the first column, pretty good. Oh, I need one more. I'm sorry, what's the last digit? I got 74. Oh, thank you. Okay, 742. I believe you. Okay, hold on. All right, let's check this calculation. 0.5 times 14 times 19 times sine of 82. I got 131.7056.
Yeah.
Did you round something? No? Interesting. Yeah, it is. This is a rounded answer. That's true. So we're going to go on this premise. So if you use this formula, your equivalent answer, which makes sense now that you are saying that, I didn't realize you were using a different formula. So if you use this formula, your answer should be, so tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay, so that's that answer, which is fine. And if you alternatively use Huron's formula instead, let me put that answer up here. So in a test situation, we would, yes, accept both of these. Make sure you show what you're using. So the reason they're slightly different is based on that rounding. Sarah, what did you get? Thank you. This is the Heron's answer. So again, to clarify, both are going to be acceptable. If you use this formula, here's your answer. If you use Heron's formula, your answer is going to differ slightly, just because that one is not based on anything rounded, where this one is. Is that okay, guys? Again, you can pick either or. Good observation, up to the top now. All right, so given triangle ABC, angle A, B, and segment BC are given to you, and we need to find segment ABC rounded to the nearest 10. Okay, so again, sketch picture, figure out what's going on here. I'm going to go ABC again. And we have A is 57.3. Angle B is 41.6. And then BC, this segment here is 29.6. And you want to solve for AC, which is little b. So just like that. Would you agree this is not love cosine anymore? Yeah, you don't have a side angle side situation or side side side. So what law is this going to be instead? Law of sines. Yep. So we're going to do here little a over the sine of A is equal to little b over the sine of B. So little a is 29.6 over the sine of 57.3 degrees is equal to little b over the sine of 41.6. And you're going to cross multiply solve. So I have 29.6 multiplied by the sine of 41.6 equal to b times the sine of 57.3. And then again, please don't do any calculator work until now. So now divide this over and type, just because you want to avoid those rounding errors. So divide that over. And then this is your final answer. So divide by 57.3. So little b is equal to, someone have it yet? I got 23.4. Do we agree? 23.4. Good. So number 5 is law of sines, number 4 is cosines. Overall, as we learned that material, you guys did a great job with that. So are those two still good? Yeah, very formula based. These last couple are all formulas as well. So you have circle out, I'm going to sketch that in a radius. So I have a radius equal to 12 centimeters. And my angle is 140 degrees, so that's my central angle. Please remember that any segment drawn from the center to any point on a circle is a radius, and all radii of a circle are congruent. You can always do that. First thing we need to solve for is the length of the minor arc. So this is on your formula sheet. You're going to find the formula. The formula that says arc length. Just making sure that that one was on there, but it is. So arc length on formula sheet. You're going to go S equals R theta, where S stands for subtended arc length. If you're thinking about a pizza, it's the crust. So it's the part that goes right along the outside like that. So we have S is equal to 12. And then there's one little trick to this formula. Radians, very good. You're going to come off to the side here and do 140 times pi over 180. And you're going to reduce this just to simplify it for yourself. What is 140 over 180 reduced to 7 pi over 9? And that is what gets placed in your theta. Again, be very careful with your calculator work. Use that alpha y equals tool to get the fraction template. That makes it easier. If you have an older calculator, please use parentheses, when in doubt, parentheses. All right, this answer works out to the nearest 10th. I got 29.3. Good. 29.3. Again, parentheses, they never hurt. Moving to the next. All just kind of goes along with this question. Next, we need the area of the minor sector. So off your formula sheet, you're going to go 1/2 r squared theta. So we're plugging in from above here. It says, does it still tell you in radians? It does. It's really nice of that. We're going to go 1/2 and then 12 squared and then multiplied by 7 pi over 9. And again, just make sure you're comfortable typing those in. So answer for that one, I got 175.9. Do we agree? Good. Again, if you're not getting that, it's just an issue of parentheses. Area of the triangle. So you are going to need the side angle side. You can't use Heron's formula for this because you do not have side, side, side. So do we have side angle side up here? You do. All you have to do is this. There's a triangle. So we have 12, 12, 140. So I'm going to do K is equal to 1/2, 12, 12. What does your angle have to be in this time? Degrees. So this is the sine of 140 degrees. As far as work goes, that's really all I have to see. And then a final answer. So final answer is everyone getting 46.3. All right, so 46.3. Last one with your formula is the area of the minus sector. This is also on your formula sheet, but what do we need to do because this is going to involve the sine of theta in radians? Please, yep, change your calculator into radians for this question. And we'll talk about how to type this too, because in my opinion, that's kind of the hardest part about this formula. If you need to do it in a couple steps to check it, then definitely take the time to do that. So this formula is S is equal to 1/2 and then r squared and then theta minus sine theta in radians. To make it easier on yourself to type it, so S is equal to, do it like a 0.5 instead. And then r squared, that would be 12 squared, which is, yeah, do things so you don't have to type so much. And then when you go to type this theta in, I'll show you the calculator screen in a second. But we want to go 7 pi over 9. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep that together minus the sine. And then I'm going to go 7 pi over 9. And this is for those of you that have the newer calculator that can get the little fraction template. And then close it out like that. So let me show you, just so you can kind of see, you've got two options to type this. So once your calculator is in radians, you can type it either like that or like that. So if you're, hesitating on, do you need parentheses? It never hurts to have them. Just make sure that for every parenthesis you open, you must close. Otherwise, you're going to get that syntax error. Did everyone get that answer? Perfect. So your last one, you're going to round this off to 129 points. Because I think it said nearest time. So 129.6. So to conclude, 129.6. So how do we feel all those review sheets in that first packet? Guys feel okay so far? It's not a difficult midterm. If you know how to do these questions, you can without a doubt score in the 90s. There is nothing unfair or tricky, but you have to be prepared to do all of these questions. So what I would like you to work on with your remaining time is that additional review sheet. So pull those out, Work through those. We'll go over those Tuesday, again, provided that we are here. And then Wednesday begins day one. You all kind of know what you need to do to prepare. So I'll give you the time, start working through those. Anything you're uncertain of, definitely do on a separate sheet. And as you have more questions about midterm, just let me know, please.